Good good evening. It's time for me to do readings. Let's see. And let's see, wait for people to file in. Yeah, it's very good, you know? Um just waiting for people to jump on. Hey, how sweet. Hey, what's up? How are you? Are you doing good? Let's wait for two more people to jump on, but I hope you're doing good. Hey. Okay, yes, it's going to be a twin flame reading, but what exactly do you want me to look into? Their intentions? Do you want me to look into what they want to say but can't? Just a check in or how they feel about you? Those are the choices. Put your comment, put it to a vote. Yes, you made it, Esme, you made it. Can you do two? Well, if you do two, you have to do a donation, but I'm just saying, which, if you want, right, so, yeah. So I'm just saying which one do you guys want me to look into? Hmm, how about what their intentions are? Oh, yeah, share my screen to the group. Yeah, yeah. Intentions, yeah. What's your, what's your vote, Josefina? All right. Okay. Attentions. Majority, of course. So since Josefina came first, I'm um. Okay. Josefina came first. I'm going to read for her. So let me see what your twin flame's intentions are towards you, Josefina. So this is what I get. I feel like right now he is really letting go of his disorganized attachment style. I feel as though he's been doing a lot of healing on his heart space, and this has had him in his feelings for you. I feel like he is reflecting on the distance between you right now, and he definitely wants to break the silence. So I feel as though he's already making movement in your direction, and as he ends up, like, I feel like he may reach out anytime between now and February. I feel as though like he is wanting to break the silence. He really wants to break the silence. Again, it's very heavy in his mind. All he can focus on is you right now. And that's because you're really focused on yourself. He is dreaming about you. You guys may be dreaming about each other actually. And I feel as though he may be talking to you through dreams. But I feel as though he will reach out to you between now and February. I feel as though like yeah, when he comes in, he's going to be a lot more in his heart space. He's going to be a lot more in his his divine masculinity. And I feel as though he's done a lot of healing on his heart space. So he's no longer going to be stonewalling as he once did. He's no longer going to be like, evasive. I feel as though he's going to be working on vulnerability with you. So, yeah, that's what I get for his intentions. Like, he already has made a choice to contact you. It's just a matter of when that's the issue. But I feel as though he will reach to you, like, within the next couple months. Okay, so did you already donate Esme, or hang hang on, since Esme was second. Okay. Okay, so we're doing what his intentions are, so high. So, yes. Yep. Yeah. No, just waiting for Esme to get to me. See what she says. I was in a hurry to actually stream that I totally forgot to put my payment info. No, it's not donation based. If you want to, today is different. Today, um, if you want to read more than one, like right now we're doing what his intentions are. But if you want to look at how he feels about you or check in on him, then along with along with what his intentions are, then you can do that. But of course, you would need a donation for that. So if you just want more than one question, like a more extensive, so to say. Um, okay. Hey, Esme. Hey, so you said a check in on your divine masculine. He's trying to come in right now. Trying to, like, his higher self is trying to come in. But I feel that he at the moment is really thinking about you. I feel as though he's been watching your social media lately, and he is overcome with desire for you at the moment. I feel as though like he's been thinking a lot about his own future. He's been thinking a lot about his. This is checking, by the way. He's been thinking a lot about what he needs for the kids. Like he's thinking about like long term when it comes to relationships. But he's also starting to see that he's not in a position to have a serious relationship, and that he needs to work on him his self sabotaging. I feel as though he has been really working on his fear of not being enough. And this has actually made him have breakthroughs about you. And he's starting to actually see like how he could have actually been more in his integrity. So he is really working on that fear of not being liked, and that is really sending him down the rabbit hole. He's going to continue to do shadow work over the next couple of months, and I feel as though this has to do around self sabotage. So I feel as though Ricardo, he will reach out to you. It's donation based, by the way. So hi. He will reach out to you, Esme, over the next couple of weeks. I feel as though you may hear from him before Christmas. I feel as though definitely, you will hear from him anytime between now and I feel as though like in a month's time. That's the max I could get for you. But I feel as though he's gonna want to come in and he will want to break the silence. He will want to tell you what he's been going through. And I feel as though he'll be a lot more vulnerable with you than he initially was. And that's because he's no longer projecting that fear of not being enough whenever he is dealing with constructive criticism. Now I'm going to be going into what his intentions are toward you. And I feel like what his intentions are towards you, he has been thinking long and hard about how to make this into a romantic relationship. So what he is really focused on is being that man that you need, Esme. He's really working on being that man that can be solid, dependable, reliable. And this has made him look long and hard at his inconsistency. So far, he has come to the conclusion that he was shown that men were inconsistent, that he modeled masculine behavior from his own father. And he's like, well, I want to break this cycle now. And because he wants to break this cycle, he is, again, like being very diligent about his self sabotage. because he's realizing that the way he's seen his father react to love was what he internalized as normal. And I feel as though he's been working on this inner teenager too. And um yeah, okay. And because of his inner teenager, I feel as though he's having a lot of breakthroughs around the fears and insecurities that he has around being accepted and loved for who he is. Because the more he goes down the rabbit hole, Esme, the more he sees that love is not a transaction. It is a place of respect. It's a safe place. It's where trust and vulnerability can exist. And he's come to the conclusion that he's never had a healthy relationship, and he's taking full accountability for how he showed up, and he's realizing that, again, you deserve better, but he wants to be that better for you, if that makes sense. He doesn't want to like lose you. You mean so much to him. So what he's really working on is healing that fear of not being enough. And the more he heals it, the more he knows what to say. So I feel as though as it gets closer to Christmas, you're going to be feeling him pulling on your energy. He may even talk to you telepathically, Esme, but you're gonna think, did I really hear that? Yes, you did really hear that. And that's him trying to gauge your reaction. But I feel as though you'll be in a receptive place. And I feel as though he will reach out to you like in the coming weeks. And when he reaches out to you, it's like you're gonna feel the energy is so different around him. You're gonna be like, "Is this the same man?" Yes, this is definitely the same man. This is the one who has worked on his shadows, the one who's more ingrained in his dark masculine, and it's gonna be very. His energy is gonna be very healing for you, as he's leads with consistency. But it'll also be a little bit triggering for you as well, Esme, because you're not used to a man leading, with conviction and determination. You're used to fighting for the intention, so to say, telling him what to do. But I feel as though he's no longer going to be that feminine man that just lacked direction. He will be a more consistent masculine that will have a plan for this connection. So, um, again, I feel as though that your advice from the divine, though, Esme, is that you need to be mindful when you get triggered around this, because you're going to feel like it's too good to be true. And that's because of your limited belief that if love is easy, then it's not real. And that's something that you've held on to since you were a child. And that does need to be worked through. But I see you working through it along with him. I see this connection deepening. All right. That's what I get. So, okay. Okay, who else is here? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sahai. Okay, so I did both check-in and intentions for as May. Now I'm gonna be doing it with yeah, it is triggering now because I've been feeling that way. That he will come in different. Okay, hang on. Before I go to your go to you, Sahar, I'm gonna be answering essay for a few seconds. So yes, of course it's going to be very triggering for you, Esme. Again, you're used to making telling the man exactly what to do. Like X, Y, and Z. I want X, Y, and Z. You're used to trying to make them act right, but he's no longer going to be like in that. I guess you can say the best way to say this fuckboy energy. Yes, that feminine man energy that had lacked no direction. He'll be more in his masculine. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go to Sahai. Okay. This is okay. So I'm gonna go over to check in on your twin flame, Sahai. So when it comes to your divine masculine, I feel as though he has been undergoing a lot of realizations about the connection with you. One thing he's realized is that the love between you was something that um wasn't exactly what he expected. I feel as though one thing he what I mean by that is that he thinks that like love, if it's easy, then it's not real. So I feel as though there's just been effortlessness between you. There's an easiness. He's used to you always telling him how to act right, how to come in. He's not used to you just like, like I wouldn't say bigger person's the right thing, but it's more like he's not used to you like pulling back and going within. He's used to you always telling him what he has to do, Sahai. And I do think that admittedly does still trigger him. But he's starting to realize that that's where he needs to go within. And this is why he's actually distant. He's distant because he's gone within. He's been reflecting about that last time you triggered him very much. It's given him some eye opening realizations about you and um yeah, and him. He's realized that some part of him um fe- I wouldn't say he got off, but I'm trying to find the right words to express it. Some part of him believed that he wasn't enough for you still. Some part of him believed that he wasn't able to provide for you in a way that he you deserve. And I feel as though part of him was afraid to like address that. But I feel as though he's not afraid to address that now. He's not afraid to address that trauma that caused him to close off his heart. And the healing we've done on him has really opened up his heart space. He has been going within to really like, sit with his trauma. I do feel like he's been doing a lot of meditating lately, Sahai. He may even tell you about that in passing. But I feel as though he has been meditating on his wounding. He has been meditating on his um on the connection, yes, but also on how he can show up better. So he's really working on his disorganized attachment style. And I said that he'll be more of a secure attachment in 2026. He's starting to really address the hot and cold behavior on a deeper level. Like he's going deep down the rabbit hole right now, Sahai. And he's starting to realize that hot and cold behavior occurred when he first got his heart broken when he was a teenager. And this is something that he was forced to acknowledge today. He is looking back at the first person who broke his heart, and he's realized that he's never processed it. He repressed it, and it's like coming up in waves for him. Yeah, and he's starting to actually see why he's so afraid to open up in the way that you want. But he is willing to take the advice. He's willing to work through it. He's willing to challenge the beliefs that he has around like not being enough. He's going to continue to work on that fear of not being enough over the next 2 to 3 weeks. He's going to be making all the breakthroughs about his inherent worthiness. And this is going to push him out of that need to prove to everyone or everything that he is capable. It's like all self image blocks are going to be cleared. After those are cleared, he is no longer going to be tied to like self image. He's going to be more authentic. He's going to be more in his skin. He'll be more in his dark masculine. I feel as though that when it comes to you, I feel that he understands why this triggering happened the way it did. And he's realized that some part of him does not trust love still, and that's what he's working on. So let me go into his intentions for you. So his intentions for you are this. He already has a plan to lead this connection. He already has a plan to move the connection forward. And so it's more about timing that's the issue. Because one thing he's really focused on, Sahai, is being consistent. He's really focused on being in his heart because he thought that he was in his heart. He thought he was more consistent, but now he's starting to actually see that there's still part of him that he denies. Like he denies himself in some aspects. He's not being vulnerable fully, and that's because of that heartbreak that came up for him again recently. And he's realizing that he needs to really open up. He's going to be putting in a lot of effort around opening up because he wants to really deepen in solidify this connection. He will continue to work on he will continue to work on the heart heart chakra over the next month or so, and I feel as though he'll be really in his skin. I do see that he will reach out to you like in the next few days. He will reach out to you to the next few days, and I do feel as though he is going to be opening up. He's gonna, like I said, he's gonna be opening up about his journey, and I feel as though like you're gonna really see how much what he's working on. You're gonna see what he's been realizing. Like it's going to be hinting at something deeper. But like I said, I see him working on opening up. He will become more and more vulnerable with you, and you won't even have to pry him. I feel as though this is him really learning how to trust vulnerability, to trust safety. And so I feel as though you and him are going to really be working on this emotional intimacy aspect over the next 3 months. And I feel as though what he's really focused on is to really, again, deepen this bond, deepen the connection, and really like focus on getting his finances in order. His finances are almost completely in order. He feels like he just needs to be solid when it comes to his healing. And so he's getting more determined with being consistent with his healing. And the more he's consistent with himself, the more it's going to ripple out to you. And yes, that's what I get. Like he's really going to be trusting like the divine when it comes to you and him. He's really going to be trusting you on a level that he hasn't before. And it feels as though this is really going to bring you guys closer. So yeah, that's what I get. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it did trigger him. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you didn't yeah, so yeah, you called him out in a gentle way, but you didn't do it like aggressively, I feel. You did it in a very tactful way, and I feel as though that just made him realize how much you've grown. How you, instead of like, giving your energy into things that trigger you, you just pull back. You no longer like engage with him when he's being stubborn. You no longer trying to chasing him. You just withdraw. And I feel as though that's something he's still getting used to. He's still triggered by that because some part of him found um yeah, yeah, so some part of him found so high that he felt like when women chased him around, when women tell him like what to do, that's them putting effort. So when someone loses interest in him, when someone actually like doesn't engage in that chasing energy, it's triggering to him. And so that's something that he's not used to. He's not used to. He's used to women succumbing to his charms. He's used to, again, like drawing them in. He's not used to people like disengaging when they feel like where they don't want to chase. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. Like he's still getting used to this. So yeah. Okay, so yes, yeah, you're welcome. So is that, let me see, is there anybody else? Is anybody else on the twin flame reading? Someone else? Wait, five heart bunch. Hang on. Heart bunch, are you here still? I mean, heart bunch, are you still? I just saw someone named, hang on, Crescenda. Are you still in the chat? Yeah, I gotta make, Sorry, Cassandra. Can't say your name. Okay. I got you. Right. So your twin flame. So you want to check in on your twin flame and in intentions. So okay. So this is what I get for your twin flame right now. He has been working on his avoidant attachment style. I feel as though he's had a lot of realizations about his self sabotaging. One thing he didn't realize is that when he gets triggered, he shuts you out. He shuts you out because he internalizes this as your responses, like at times, like as him not being enough. I feel as though one of the things that he's starting to realize is that you're not being aggressive. You're not being like you're legitimately trying to help him, but he has a fear of criticism. I feel though he's very perfectionistic. Sorry, he's very perfectionistic, and because of that, he likes to be above approach. So whenever he gets some, even if it's positive feedback, he gets somewhat triggered, and that's because he has a massive fear of not being enough. But I do feel as though he has been really reflecting on his fear of not being enough anyway. He's been really looking at his inner child trauma at a very deep level. And one thing he's noticed is that he performs for love. He believes that he's not going to be accepted as he is, that love comes with strings attached. And this is what he's been working on. He's been really working on trusting in the love between you and him. And one thing he also realized about this connection is that one, it's not going away, and two, he's realizing that this challenges him to be his best and authentic self. And he has been working through his trauma diligently. He's someone who is like, once he sees a cycle that he's repeating, he stops it. He's not the type of person to engage in things just to um just to hurt. So I feel as though you were actually guided to pull back because he needed to actually see his trauma clearly. Because I feel as though you were like trying to help him, but some part of him couldn't see. I guess you can say in a way that your love was kind of shielding him from what he needed to see. But when you pull back your energy, when you focus on yourself, this caused him to really drop into himself and really look at how he was um like using, I wouldn't say using is the right word, but it's more like he's starting to see where what he didn't want to see before. And so he is really working on his avoidant attachment style. One thing that he's really focused on is really showing up for you because he realizes that he's very emotionally intelligent. He is. It's just one of his underrated abilities. But one thing he really struggles with is expressing his feelings. And that's because when he was younger, he was shamed for being too emotional. He was shamed for being too um like sensitive. And he's always like shut off his emotional side because he was his family branded it as weakness, I'm seeing. And that's what he's really like working through. He's working all through that inner child trauma. And because he's working through that inner child trauma, this has really caused him to really look at the connection with you. He's realizing um he's realizing that you were, yes, you were trying to help him, but he was also seeing that he was running from himself. He was running from his issues because some part of him didn't believe that he was powerful. One thing that he is that he's very self-deprecating. Like he's not the type of, yeah, he's humble, yes, but he has a low self-esteem. And this is one thing he's starting to realize, that because he's so um I'm trying to find the right word. Because he's like so kind, he lets people walk over him. And that's one thing he needs to really work on. One thing he's really working on is his dark masculine energy. And because he's working on his dark masculine energy right now, this is really causing him to really be stronger in himself. I feel as though he will also be working on his people pleasing because he's a massive people pleaser. He's the type of person who likes to be friendly with everyone. Like he would rather have be on good terms with someone than bad terms. and this could actually be a drawback for him because he tends to betray himself just to actually get people to like him. And see, he's starting to realize that though. He's starting to realize that, and he knows what he needs to work on. So I feel as though you're mainly focused on yourself. I mean, you still care for him, but you're starting to actually like heal your codependency trauma, and this is really helping him at the moment. He's starting to actually see that he looks outside of himself for love and validation, and he no longer wants to do that. So I do see he will be doing some deep shadow work over the next 6 months around codependency. And this is really going to change his interactions with people. This is really going to change his people pleasing. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I did pick up on the karmic as well. I felt that too. So yeah, I feel as though like he's going to really be looking at his karmic situation a very much differently. Like he's going to be seeing it for what it really is: convenience and superficial and shallow. He's going to, again, his soul is already craving that growth, and he's actually listening to his soul. Yes, he has a big ego, but he's a lot more intuitive than he actually lets on. I feel as though he's clairsentient, but he's so logical. He's so logical at times. Like he tends to undermine his own intuition, but I feel as though the more he works on himself, the stronger his intuition is going to get, and the more he's going to trust it. So let me go over his intentions towards you. So one thing I feel like he's working on is really working on showing up for himself, and this is really making him look at his karmic situation. One thing he's realized is that it doesn't challenge him. That it's just like there's no chemistry between them. Like there's no understanding. She's committed to always misunderstanding him. She expects a lot of him, and she doesn't validate him or you know like be safe for him like the way you are. He's always walking around eggshells for her, and I feel as though this is what he's starting to realize, that love shouldn't be that tumultuous. Love shouldn't be that chaotic. Love's supposed to be a place where he's supposed to be free, where he can be himself, where he can have trust and respect for the person that he's with. And he's starting to see the power struggles of his own karmic situation, and this is really making him reflect on you. I feel as though he is admiring you from afar right now. But one thing he's really focused on is healing himself, because he knows your self love game is strong, and that in order to keep up with you, he must elevate to your level. And this is what he's really working on right now, because he doesn't want to be that person that's always like making everybody happy. He wants to be his own person. He wants to be his true self. And I feel as though he's really working on breaking free. And so I feel like I don't see when he'll reach out to you, but I feel as though that hardly matters, because I feel as though he's making great changes in his life right now. And I feel as though this is really going to really bro- show him where he needs to really work on trusting his heart. He will continue to work on his heart space over the next 3 months. And if he does contact you, I feel as though you will feel him more in his heart space. He's going to be making more of an effort to really let you in. Like he's going to be letting down those walls. And I feel as though he's going to really try to be more consistent, but I feel as though he still has a long way to go. Again, don't be afraid. Like if you don't be afraid. I'm hearing this for the divine. If you feel like he needs to do work, don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to express it. And I feel as though he'll get triggered, but he'll thank you for this. He'll thank you for this. Please don't be afraid to call. Please don't be afraid to say that. I'm hearing that because again, yes, you love him, but I feel as though this is also a test for you to as well, to really remain rooted in the bigger picture, because this is going to really help you guys evolve and grow as individuals. So yes, I get. Yeah. Um. Hi, Valeria. Val 122. Yeah. Yes, it's time to distance myself. So let me. I mean, okay, you were guided to do that, because I feel as though the divine's like say, yes, you want to help him, but the thing is, you can't make him see what he doesn't want to see. That this separation is for your best and highest good. He needs to see his own wounding. Like, yes, you can make you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. So by working on your healing, you are helping him, Citra. You're helping him. You're helping him. So that's how you can help him. Yes. Mm. That one too. Mm. Right. You're welcome. Is there anybody else here that wants a reading? Okay. I think I got everybody. You're welcome. Okay, I think that's it then. All right then. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you another time. Namaste.